Hello everybody, welcome back to episode 4 of the single player Let's Play. As I will show you here in just a minute, I've been a little bit busy, so I guess I've gone ahead and changed all of my tools to Night Slime. So I will go ahead and play through the montage of that stuff right now. So, not too bad, huh? Alright, so what I thought we could do today is kind of get everything together for some storage of all the creosote we've been creating, because I really enjoy having a supply of creosote, because I'm going to use treated wood quite a bit. But this creosote supply here is going to eventually fill up, and I'd like to store it somehow. So what I think I'm going to do is store it using a tinker's tank, but I've never used a tinker's tank before, so this is going to be a learning experience for the both of us. I already pulled it up here in the Tinker's Construct Manual. Now the Tinker Tank, as it says here, is a giant tank holding much more liquid than a smeltery, but without heat, causing no alloys or smelting. It can be any size from 3x3 to 11x11 with any height, but it has to be at least 3 blocks tall. Larger structures mean bigger tank, so on and so forth. So we can use any combination of seared blocks, seared glass, or the drains to get accessed in and out. So that means we're obviously going to need to grab a tank controller, which is going to require a bucket. I might still have one. I do. I have 2 actually. Very nice. So we will need the Tinker Tank controller. And then we're also going to need a drain. This will give us fluid input and fluid output. From here, I don't really know how I'm going to do the sizing for everything else. I do know that I want to get more glass though. So let me see, what is my supply of coal coke looking like? 2 more, okay. I'm going to need more glass. Now, in between episodes, I've actually done a lot of work, just kind of doing some relatively boring stuff, actually. So I went and farmed a bunch of blazes for some blaze rods, so we now have enough blaze powder, or blaze rods for the blaze powder necessary to create a blast furnace, because Railcraft actually does not have its own blast furnace at the moment. I went through and expanded my backpack a little bit more with some more of the string from our industrial hemp farm out there. And I've also put auto repair on my night slime hatchet, which and replaced all the parts which you guys have seen, but I didn't actually record adding the mending moss to the hatchet, so thought I might want to cover that. So there we go, and I'm going to go ahead and start, let me see, can I get one more? There we go. Gotta have even numbers. I'm going to start with just a few seared bricks because I have an idea of a shape, but I'm not necessarily sure exactly the shape that I want to go with. So I'm thinking, up here in the basement, we could probably, honestly, I think we could suffice with, let me break this, empty, can I not empty that? Okay. That's not my expectation, necessarily. That's okay. So let me grab the engineer's hammer. Yeah, I really thought that that was going to work. And it looks like we'll lose half a bucket of creosote oil, which is a shame because realistically it can fit in here. Let me see if I have any sort of fluid transfer that I can think of. I might end up having to go with just a plain fluid transfer node because I can't think of any better way of getting this transferred over, to be honest. So we'll do a bucket, some transfer pipes. Transfer pipes is just some stone. I'll grab that piece of glass. So we got some stone, more stone, a few pieces of redstone. Believe that's pretty much all that we needed. I needed one more piece of redstone. Ah, yes, and like I mentioned in between episodes, I did keep my promise. I put up the lamps. They look great. The inside of the house is completely spawn safe now, both upstairs and downstairs. I had to use a little bit of chisel and bit cheatiness for some spots up here, but you can see it's just chiseled glass, or chiseled glowstone that is treated wood on the top and bottom. Not really all that cheaty, but you know, not exactly typical. There we go. No waste. That makes me feel better. So let's go ahead and break down the coke oven here. I want to move it over and maybe even back a little bit. I'm going to apologize now if there's any background noise you can hear. It's probably, if it sounds like stomping, it's probably my landlord and his kids. They are disrespectfully loud, but hopefully you guys don't even hear it, ideally. So we will build the tank probably here, I'm thinking, and it doesn't need to be that tall. Like I hope that this will actually be tall enough. So we'll put down the tank controller. We'll have to have a drain here. Smack this with a hammer and transfer pipes into the drain. So at this point I just need a few seared glass, which I think, let's see, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 6. And then I'll be able to take a look and see what the capacity of that is. If that's too small, because I've never made one of these before, if that's not enough storage, then we'll just have to come up with something else. Wait, that was the wrong thing. Shoot. Oh well. I'll probably add these to the smeltery. It's not really a big deal. Take a nap real quick. Yeah, my size outdated. Sue me. And let me see if I do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a interesting texture you're using there. 5, 6. Tinker Tank. 144. Is that buckets or millibuckets? Goodness, I hope that is buckets. So if I empty this into here, empty that into here. Okay, yeah, so this actually stores 144 buckets worth of creosote. That's plenty. That's beyond what we're gonna need, and that's actually pretty great. So, actually, before this continues, please calm down. What I would like to do is actually pull all of that out and change this around a little bit. Let's see, is that now empty? Almost. There. So now this is empty, and this is... Okay, so I did lose a little bit, but that's fine. I kind of figured the transfer node still was retaining a little bit of it, but I'm not particularly upset. I'd really enjoy being able to see inside of this, so I'd actually rather have this, even with as weird as that glass looks. And, let me see here. Do the... I don't think I can do this, can I? Oh, I can. That works. Sweet. So if I do this, whoops, and then have this here, and this here, and this here, that works. And you can see the creosote in there, which is pretty great. Awesome. So I'm going to leave this be. I'm just going to leave this exactly as it is, and I will be right back once we have everything ready for the next piece of the puzzle. Alright, so it's been a few minutes. I had to actually go through and clean my keyboard. For some reason my A key was sticking a lot. You may have noticed that I was clicking it a lot last little clip. But with the keyboard clean, I can now play. This has been sitting here processing some more coal coke for me. And as you can see, our tinker tank is actually not even very full, but it has 100 and... Well, here, let me do the math. I have 22 buckets worth of creosote oil in there. So that's pretty nifty. Now, I believe, I've got to check, I think the nature of these is such that, and here, let me clean out my inventory as well. I should have a lot of seared bricks over here, which is good because I think I might use these tinker tanks a lot. They're pretty cool. Some extra glass, I will always appreciate that. So, seared bricks I'm just going to toss in the junk chest. Mod item, mod item, mod item, and mod. This is a tool, sort of. Put the coal coke away, put the building blocks away. Oh, I forgot the transfer nodes. And I forgot the hammer. There we go. So I have to test because I think, but I am not certain. If I had another bucket, it looks like I don't anymore, actually. Well, I've got this lava bucket, and I don't really need lava for anything, so I'll just go ahead and waste the lava. I know I could have stored it in this tinker tank, but I don't care. I don't need lava. I think I can just come over here and right-click? No. I thought I could. I guess not. So I'll have to come up with a good way of accessing my tank contents, I suppose. Because I obviously cannot right now. I really thought that I could. I really thought that this worked. Oh well. We'll have to try it some other way. But that's fine. I don't actually need access to my creosote at the moment anyways, so that's fine. So I'm going to take a nap real quick because it is the middle of the night. And like I said, between episodes I went and got everything that I should need for a blast furnace. And it's actually blast brick that I'm going to be needing. And so it's going to require some nether brick and some normal brick, right? Yeah. I don't have either one of those two prepared. So why don't I get that going? So we're going to grab 2 stacks of nether brick and we'll grab 2 stacks worth of normal brick. Oh. Did not mean to rotate that. There we go. And each one of these cooks 16 items, right? Yeah. I'm also going to get another stack of coal and put it up here in the coke oven because we're going to need a supply of coal coke to fuel our blast furnace. Steel, with the way that I've got my mine tweaker scripts configured, is actually a pretty big deal. It's a very important thing to have plenty of. So it's definitely pretty critical that I get myself a blast furnace and get some steel cooking because if I look at the uses for steel, let's see. There we go. We'll choose immersive engineering. If I take a look here, you can see, of course, there's the usual assortment of railcraft tools, the railcraft stuff kind of in general. But then, of course, there's immersive engineering, which I want to get into next. I want to make an... I don't know if I want to make an immersive engineering crusher or not. But there's also... Let me see. Sorry, I got distracted. Immersive engineering, more railcraft stuff. There... Ooh, wait. Was that minecart recipe? Ah, yes. I forgot about that. And then there's recipes, which I have added. So the machine frame from RF Tools now requires steel and a capacitor. The machine chassis also requires 2 pieces of steel from Ender.io. The alloy smelter requires 4 pieces of steel plus the 2 from the steel machine chassis. So it's kind of a crucial part. Definitely. I don't have mechanism, so mechanism steel isn't really an option. And I don't have the slightest clue on how to make steel in the, pardon that, steel in extreme reactors. I just know that it is here for some reason. So, I'd like to get the blast furnace put together. I think the blast furnace will be a very, very, very helpful little bit for this pack. So, if we take a look at blast brick, Blast brick is going to require, we're going to need a 3x3x3, so that's going to be another 27 of these. These craft in pairs, so we'll need this recipe 14 times to get 28. And if you do the math, we have exactly enough blaze. This took me ages to get. I will just put that out there. I never want to have to work towards this again. I didn't find a fortress, not once. And I also never had any luck with, well, I had very little luck finding blazes in the nether just naturally spawning. I did find them, but it was not easy. So I'm just going to put the blast furnace right next to this thing. I don't really think we're going to need all that much room, because I think I'm just going to have this sort of be a hallway sort of to a sense of machinery. So what I think I may try, I think it'd be look kind of cool, is if I look at the hempcrete recipe, what does the recipe look like? It's clay balls and hemp fiber. Let me clear the enemies out here. You can see my sword has become pretty powerful, by the way. Definitely required a little bit of effort to get that. As far as getting some quartz, at least. Let me see, anyone else around? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to have any other unwanted guests. So let me do a quick little harvest. I'm using the V-Tweaks crop harvesting here, by the way, in case you were curious. V-Tweaks basically has a very universal method. It's not as good as Ender IO's, where it's completely configurable, but it's pretty darn universal. If there's a mod that it doesn't work with that you want it to, slap it up on the GitHub report list, bug report list, and believe me, I will have it implemented before you miss it. So that's kind of my own thing, but I like mine. I don't know why. It's mine, and I guess that's why I like it. I need to go get my Matic. As you can see, some jerk has decided to go through and trample a lot of my farmland, and I have no idea why, but they're mean. I also actually need to go make a quick trip over here to grab my bed. I have not moved my bed yet. I know, I'm such a useless slacker. If I grab it, then I'll remember it. And the slime sling saves a good little bit of time if you know kind of where to aim in general. So we'll put the bed down probably upstairs with all the machines and such. Wouldn't be too terrible to have it like... Actually, you know, I don't want it upstairs. I want to put it downstairs. So I guess I can put it... I don't know, here for now? I'm not terribly good at designing, like, internal household stuff. So let's grab my Matic. And re-till this land, because I don't know what butt has been breaking it, but it's getting really annoying. Perfect. So we can make a few pieces. I don't actually need all that many. I just need some clay. I think that might be plenty. Actually, I think that'll definitely be plenty. So let's come over here and craft up... Honestly, 6 should be plenty, because I have a plan here. We will... actually, I'll do 6 more, because I don't want a weird number of clay balls. I know that's really stupid, but it's just kind of what works for me. The rest of this, however, I would like to make it into string, because of course we can upgrade our backpack some more. So let's see, 16. I'll just do 9. I'm trying to do multiples of 9, so I'll wait until I get some more string before I do any more, because I don't want to have a... I find it strange when you have like an odd number. For example, like this. This bothers me, this little empty corner. So I will try to avoid that, as you'll most likely notice. Did that just mess up the sorting? Yeah, there we go. Put that away. How are we doing on... Let's see, so we're doing good on bricks. We're doing okay on nether bricks. We'll do that, and that, and that. That is all we even needed. We'll have some excess bricks, but that's fine. So, the plan, my plan at least, is I have some hempcrete. And if I... Actually, cube would probably be the easiest at this point. These can be bitted, as you can see, and that's a glorious thing because I want to do sort of a factory floor thing here, maybe. So let me get the rest of this blast furnace built. Dang it, I forgot my hammer. I should just put the hammer in my backpack at this point. I use it too often. We'll just start doing that. I've got the room. So we'll build up the rest of the blast furnace. One extra, like I knew we would, and there we go. Blast furnace. So, like I mentioned, it's going to use coal coke and some iron, which I don't even have smelted yet, to make our beautiful, beautiful steel. So I am going to go ahead and smelt up my iron. I know it's kind of a bit of a waste, but I want to get plenty of steel going because I would like to get a crusher sooner or later. I have many options that I could be going. I could do IC2 if I wanted to, but I think I'm going to wait for that for the furnace part. I just want the crusher for the actual initial crushing, I guess. But yeah, so my plan is to just make a little 1 block tall cover sort of thing with these. Just because it seems like I've got a lot of like machinery type stuff going on up here, like looks like heavy machinery, and so this will be a good way of kind of mapping things out. So the crusher will be a 3x5, I believe. Go grab the book. Do I have the book? Yes, I have the book. So the crusher is a... Okay, you can stop right there and start over. There we go. So it is... Yeah, 3x5. That's what I thought. Cool. So, since it is a 3x5, I just want to have a little area mapped out for it. And the rest of the floor I'll leave exactly the way it is. I just want this specific area to be sort of refined looking. I may even go so far as to put up a wall here. In fact, let me see what that might look like. So if I did... here. This is a good secret, by the way, if you want to turn these back into their solid blocks, is place them down, use a hotkey for undo. I set mine to Z because Control Z, and then turn them all into chiseled rock from a template. It says chiseled rock hempcrete, but as soon as I place it down, it's just normal hempcrete. So I'm kind of thinking that this might work out. What I do want is maybe a little smidgen of glass, because I think it'd be kind of cool to do something a little bit industrial. And we'll use bricks even. Bricks might look good here. So I'm thinking not do a full divide, just do a partial divide. So what I mean by that is not have it go all the way up to the ceiling, but just have it go about this far. Do a 2-block window, and do I want to do a 2-block window or do I want to do a 1-block window is the question. If I do a 1-block, then I could do something like this. Let me clean up the inventory here just a little bit. Grab the chisel. Yes, so if I chose... I'm trying to think of a good industrial glass. Steel framed? How many do I need? 6? 6 steel framed. Let's give that a try. What if I do these 5 as well? Oh, that was the wrong one. I wanted steel framed. 1, 2, 3, and... Seriously. So I think that looks okay. All it needs now is some sort of door. So, oh, the iron has finished smelting. What are my door options? We have, well, I could do a reinforced door. That actually could look really cool. How much lead do I have? I might do that. That could be really neat, actually. Go ahead and take our nap, finally. And let's see. This guy's gonna be rude. Oops. Sorry, I was looking for something, but I don't think I have any, so I'll just do that. That. This actually is really cool. I didn't know I was capable of doing something as neat as this. Now, this is going to bother me if I don't do this. Since the symmetry is a little bit wonky in this room, I'm going to go ahead and move this over 3 blocks. Especially because it's not like I can't just rebuild it. And go ahead and put these down here instead. And now, that's a little more comfortable and it's centered with the crusher. So at this point, I'm just waiting on some more coal coke. Okay, well, Immersive Engineering has a broken tooltip there. That's fine. All in all, I'm actually really pleased by how that looks. Cool. So give me just a second, and maybe we will be able to do some cool steel stuff. I'm just going to let that smelt for a little while. Alright guys, so it looks like we're at a pretty good wrapping up point, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed.